election time has seen various players, various political parties coming and espousing to be the real voice of the Goans. But the long tradition of Goa, Goan citizens, the people of Goa and the Congress party, I think some of our opponents took this relationship very lightly. While it's true that we did not form the government last time, it's also true that the people of Goa did vote for the Congress party and its candidates. But now I think because of new entrants into the political arena, it's become very abundantly clear that the Congress party stands for issues that we believe are important for Goa, its culture, its history, its heritage, its background, and for its future. The young people in this state are looking for opportunities, they're looking for growth, they're looking for a sustainable ecosystem where they and their families can get a better life. The Congress party in Goa has already released its manifesto, what we intend to do. And as you're aware, there are 5 states going to polls. Just yesterday I was in Uttarakhand, and I can tell you that the wave of change has swept across the hills of Uttarakhand and into Haridwar. The Congress party will get a thumping majority in Uttarakhand and also in Punjab. In Goa, I think in the last few months, despite all the resources being deployed by various political parties, I am confident that the selection of candidates that the Congress party has done in Goa, the kind of campaign that we have embarked upon despite the COVID restrictions, it's reflective of the mindset in which the Congress party operates, and more importantly, I think it's reflective of what the needs and aspirations of the people of Goa are. Priyanka Gandhi ji was here a few days ago. I think Rahul Gandhi ji is visiting again Goa, most likely in the next couple of days. But I can see that within the BJP, they keep claiming this double engine sarkar from Delhi and Goa. I think the facts speak for themselves. I think it's important to understand that here is a party that has always promised doubling of the farmers' income, of reducing prices of oil, petrol and gas cylinders. It has talked about putting money in people's account, but if you look at how they've handled the corona crisis, if you look at how they've handled the economy, even in this budget, I think the state of Goa got almost nothing in the budget speech that the finance minister read out. So promises and delivery, there is no semblance of reality as far as the BJP is concerned. And I think the fact that the Chief Minister of Goa has always been demanding and seeking things from Delhi and nothing has transpired on the ground. We, on the other hand, have had a very constructive and a positive campaign. It's very easy for us to point fingers and to do name calling, which the BJP is doing, but I think the Congress party's initiative of for example, capping petrol and diesel at 80 rupees a litre, that's what we committed ourselves on doing when we formed the government here. We've got special issues of young people, students, college, university students, what we will do for them in terms of education, in terms of their future. And like Priyanka ji said the other day, to spend 500 crores, especially on job creation and skill-oriented training, so that young people in this state, in city state, can actually become independently productive and sustain their households. Many issues of mining, of coal, of construction of ports, airports have been hanging fire despite having the same government at the center and the same government in Goa. One would have thought that when you have a majority government in New Delhi and you have a same BJP government in Goa, you will actually do something that will be holistic, that will have a cohesion, and the people will benefit from the policies. On every contentious issue, the Goa government has actually faltered. They have not come up with a conclusive, decisive action. They always claim and state, and delivery is almost zero on the ground. This election, I think, is important for people to take lessons also, because I keep saying this people are trying to make it a multi-cornered contest, but I can tell you with full confidence there are contestants with the BJP who we will defeat. Other people are contesting, and it's a free country, they have the right to contest elections, but the results will bear the stamp that all these attempts to cut down votes of the Congress party will bear no fruit. People have decided, and I think the feedback that we've got from our workers and from our political activists and even from other sources is that we're heading towards a clear majority government in Goa. On March 10th, when the counting concludes, I can say with a lot of humility but with full confidence that the Congress party will form a full majority government, a government that will be for the people, which will deliver, which will be transparent and accountable, and which will have a freshness, and we will deliver everything that we promised. You see, whether it's the Students' Manifesto or whether it's our Congress Party's manifesto, which is quite comprehensive, these things will be taken up by the government as a roadmap, and they will actually be implemented. And like we keep saying, like Chidambaram ji said in Parliament the other day, BJP announced a 20 lakh crore package as a stimulus package post the lockdown. Every large country gave money to its citizens in their pockets so that they can increase spending and consumption. This government has actually tried to privatize everything that it can: airports, ports, railways, electricity companies, utility companies, insurance companies, and only into hands of a few. I won't take names, but we know that there is a concentrated effort by the government of India to somehow increase the gap between rich and poor. 5 crore people in India have gone below the poverty line in BJP's regime. And 14 crore people were lifted from abject poverty above the poverty line when Manmohan Singh ji was Prime Minister. So the richer have gotten extremely rich, and the poor have actually become destitute now. All the tall claims that the Prime Minister made in the response to the Rashtrapati's speech in Parliament the other day were also more of a political speech aimed at the 5 states going to polls. They were deprived of the numbers, there was no accountability, and whatever question Rahul Gandhi ji raised in the Parliament remained unanswered. You can do name calling, you can accuse people, you can distort history, you can do character assassination, but ultimately you are not able to deliver on the numbers and facts and figures that you were asked questions about. So this rhetoric and this slogans and speeches and media and posters and banners, etc., I think can't substitute for real governance. People of Goa want real government that delivers, that is not dependent on the big brother sitting in Delhi, which does not care about the Goans or its culture. It's important to preserve what we have. And right from Nehruji's time, Indiraji's time, Rajiv ji, and now till now, the Congress Party is very concerned about the sensitivities that the Goans have. How we just not love and respect, but also care and do work for the Goans as to keep their identity, to keep Goa as a place that is that makes us proud, that everyone in India feels proud of, that we can showcase, we can build a sustainable, eco-friendly tourism that will flourish, that will help people of Goa move forward, that we can start mining again in a sustainable way. We will form a gaming commission to make sure that this whole every 6 months, giving sanctions to this gaming facilities does not go on. So clear, solid, articulate, legally executable policies is what we will do when we form the government. I think people will make the choices. Again, in the end, I would just say that all that we represent is that it's an inclusive culture, and every single citizen, irrespective of their caste, creed, religion, ethnicity, language, or even clothing sense. I mean, that's become really a topic which is a non-issue. It should not really be an issue. We should talk about governance and delivery and education and medical facilities, etc. So we are going to focus on real issues. I think people are very smart. Goa is a place where people understand their politics, and they will make the right decision. 10th of March, the Congress Party will get with God's grace, a clear majority to serve the people of Goa. I'm happy to answer any questions if you have any.
How is the scene on this year TMC and AAP as entry in Goa, if any effect on the Congress Party?
You see, I don't want to speak what the results will be, but as a political activist, I understand a little bit of ground politics. It's very interesting how many parties are trying to enter the space of Goa, which is anyway a small state, but it's significant. And I think it's important that this was done to put speculations to rest. Other parties contesting elections in Goa, I think, are doing a lot of chest thumping, a lot of resource mobilization, a lot of promises. But people of Goa will look at the history, they will look at the track record, they will look at who can deliver, who has the background of being able to deliver. This poaching, contesting, spending resources, managing, trying to cause defections, all this I think is not sustainable in the long run. You can do a short-term, immediate political gain, but in the long run, I'm confident that people will see through all of this, and I think the Aam Aadmi Party or the TMC or some other political party that wants to try its luck in Goa, where they have almost zero, very little connection with the grassroots issues of Goa, I don't think we'll have any political dividend that they will get on 10th of March. हाँ रमन, आप क्या कर रहे थे?
सर मैं ये बोल रहा हूँ कि जो सवाल इन्होंने किया कि आम आदमी पार्टी और जिस तरीके से उनका प्रचार का एक तरीका है, एग्रेसिव वे में प्रचार कर रहे हैं। अभी आपने माइनिंग की बात की, 6 महीने के अंदर माइनिंग फिर से शुरू करने की बात अरविंद केजरीवाल कह रहे हैं और कह रहे हैं कि 15 साल कांग्रेस रही और बाकी बीजेपी रही और एक बार मौका आप आम आदमी पार्टी को दीजिए। आपको लगता है कि जनता जो मामला हाईकोर्ट के अंदर है उस मामले पे 6 महीने के अंदर हम शुरू करने की बात कर रहे हैं, क्या जनता को गुमराह करने की कोशिश?
देखिए, दिल्ली की सरकार ने जब तक काम किया, हम सब जानते हैं, वो एक टकराव की राजनीति करते हैं। टकराव करना है, एलजी से करना है, केंद्र सरकार से करना है। दिल्ली में सरकार जब शीला जी की थी तब भी वही संस्थाएं थीं, वही परंपराएं थीं, वही नियम कानून थे, लेकिन तब भी सारे काम होते थे ना। तो ये टकरा कर सहानुभूति बटोरना, वादे कर देना, फिर उसको फिर आगे पीछे कर देना, ये एक परंपरा बनी हुई है दिल्ली के अंदर। तो मैं नहीं समझता हूँ कि उनके स्टेटमेंट्स को बहुत ज़्यादा गंभीरता से यहाँ के लोग लेंगे। पीपल ऑफ गो अंडरस्टैंड what is possible, what is not possible. You can promise the moon, but if you don't have the capacities or the intent or the willpower to deliver, then people will not fall for those promises. It's okay, election time, people make a lot of promises, but I don't think anybody takes them that seriously. Of course, we see around in Goa, the amount of money being spent on publicity, on marketing and advertising is a huge amount of money. Of course, there are vested interests who may be doing it, but I don't think people of Goa can be fooled by a few billboards or hoardings or some social media campaigns. People want to see their local representative being able to deliver. And again, people of Goa are very, very educated and politically aware. So they will not just, they know the value of their vote. It's a small state with a small constituency in each MLA area. So every vote is valuable. And I don't think any attempts to mollify voters or to divide them on ethnic lines or to give them some free doles will help, because people know that ultimately it's resource driven. Whatever governments will do, it depends on how much resource mobilization government can do. So there is no plan that I've seen from TMC or Aam Aadmi Party how to increase the state's budget, how to increase its earning capacities, where will they get more money to spend on infrastructure, how will they finance all the promises that they're making. So people understand that. That's what I'm saying. Congress is a tried tested party, and I think we're fighting this election. This campaign is a very positive campaign. It's low key. We don't have the resources that other parties have, but I think it's a very calibrated, grassrooted approach. This door-to-door campaigning, selection of candidates, picking up issues, getting young people involved, having student manifesto, and talking about issues that matter to people: price rise, jobs, regulations, the powers of panchayats, land conversion. All these issues matter to the Goans, and that's what we've taken up in our manifesto.
So this time as a Congress party decide किया था कि new faces, 80% new faces ही हुआ है. क्या कांग्रेस को कितना फायदा हो सकता है इसमें?
मैं तो हमेशा न्यू फेस को प्रमोट करता हूँ. आई हैव बीन ऑलवेज आस्किंग पीपल टू बी गिवन मोर चांस. एंड फॉर एग्जांपल इन यूपी नाउ Priyanka ji is given 40% tickets for the first time in a large state to women, because she promised that and she delivered that. And here also I think people of Goa were fed up with this coming and going, and they wanted the Congress party to give people a chance who were new, who had who were more reliable, dependable, who will actually stay the course. And I think the Congress party, the PCC and AICC have together taken the right decision by selecting the right kind of candidates. So I am sure that all this will fall into place and we will have a resounding victory for the Congress on 10th of March.
Swati?
ओके, सगळ्यांत पयलीं हांव थँक्स म्हणटा जे पायलटची जे स्पेशली म्हटलें की स्पेशली तुमच्या खातीर पूण रावला तुमकां इंडक्ट करपाक. सो गुंडूरावजी, आमचे दिगंबर कामतजी, गिरीश चोडणकर जी, एंड म्हाजी काँग्रेस फॅमिली जेणी म्हाका परत एकदां चान्स दिला ह्या प्लॅटफॉर्मा वयल्यान म्हजें जें कितें काम आसा तें लोकां पर्यंत व्हरपा खातीर. एक टायम जालो 2017, म्हजे बरोबर अमरनाथूय आसा, आमी एक पदयात्रा सबंद गोंयभर आमी पांयांनी भोंवून काँग्रेसीन आमी पदयात्रा केली आनी घराघरान आमी लोकांच्या दारान वचून आमी काँग्रेसचें म्हत्व सांगलें. आनी तेन्ना आमचे 17 आमदार आमकां लोकांनी दिले. आनी खंय तरी मागीर जें पॉलिटिकल जो सिनारियो जालो थंयच्यान खंय तरी मनान एक वायट दिसलें की इतले आमी कश्ट करून सुद्दां मागीर फायनली खंय तरी एक गेम जाता आणि आमी जे काम करता ते आमी लोकां मुखार लोक आमकां मागीर फायनली वी हॅव टू फेस द पीपल. सो हे सगळे इतले ते चलता चलता एक खंय तरी पार्टींतल्यान एक आमकां बीजेपीक खंय तरी हरोवपाक जाय, पूण ते खंय तरी आमकां एक पावर तो मेळनासलो, खंय कशें पार्टी खंय तरी एक दिनासले अशें फील जालें म्हाका. सो फायनली टीएमसीची एंट्री गोंयान जाली आनी तेंचे येता आसतना कशें आसा ममता बॅनर्जीन थंय बीजेपीक काबार केल्या आनी गोंयानूय खंय तरी ती त्या इंटेन्शनान आयल्या. हे हेका लागून खंय तरी हांव काँग्रेसींतल्यान हांव टीएमसीन जॉयन जालें आनी म्हाका दिसलें येस हांगा आमी बीजेपीक आमी खंय तरी सोंपोवपा खातीर आमचो एक स्ट्रॉंग आमी स्टेप घेतली. पूण फायनली जेन्ना पळयलें सगळें आनी हांव कशें आसा सामकें ग्रासरूट काम करता, रोडाचेर काम सगळ्या घरा घरान हांव एवरी कॉन्स्टिट्युएन्सीन हांव कॅम्पेनिंगाक वता, तेन्ना लोकांचें मत जें जालें तें हांवें आयकलें आनी तातूंतल्यान एकूच निष्पन्न जालें की लोकांच्या मनान टीएमसी बद्दल मात सुद्दां इमोशनली तेंचे कनेक्ट ना आनी लोकांक एकूच दिसता की टीएमसी गोंयान आयली आनी ती आयल्या ती फक्त काँग्रेसीक सोंपोवपा, हितूर काँग्रेस खंय तरी सोंपतली आनी परत बीजेपी खंय तरी चान्स मेळटलो. हें म्हाका प्रत्येक घरान हांव जेन्ना वतालें कॅम्पेनिंगाक तेन्ना लोकां कडल्यान जे गोंयचे गोंयकार आसा तेंचे एक म्हाका आवाज आयकूंक आयलो आनी ओवरऑल हांव जॉयन जालें. हांवें पयलींच जॉयन जातनाच सांगिल्लें की आय विल नॉट कंटेस्ट, प्लस म्हजें जें आसा तें लेबर मुवमेंटाक हांव इम्पॉर्टन्स दिता. सो आय विल बी एट दॅट लेवल, आय विल वर्क फॉर द ऑर्गनायझेशन आनी कसलेंच एक्सपेक्टेशन धरनासतना हांव पार्टीन जॉयन जाल्लें जस्ट टू वर्क फॉर द गोवा. म्हणजे सदांच आमी करता एज अ पॉलिटिकल आमकां एक फ्रंट जाय आसलो. सो फायनली तें जर ऑर्गनायझेशनल तेंचें जर काम पळयलें जाल्यार खंयच तेंचें कांयच सेटअप ना, नॉर आमकां टीएमसी पार्टी म्हणून आमकां कांय दिसना. आमकां फक्त थंय आयपॅक दिसता आनी जे डिसिजनां आसा ती फक्त आयपॅक 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 थंय ते डिसिजनां घेता. इवन मॅनिफेस्टो तयार करता आसतना नेम्स एक आमी कमिटी फायनल मॅनिफेस्टो करून आमच्या मुखार हाडटा, कांयच आमकां ते सांगिना बाबा कितें गोंयचे रियल इश्यूज आसा, ग्रासरूट लेवल कितें आमकां इन्क्लूड करपाक, कसलेंच डिस्कशन ना. फायनल येवन तुमी हें करपाचें एज इफ आमी एक पपेट कशें थंय रावप आनी काम करप, हें आमकां केन्नाच मान्य ना. बिकॉज वी आर वर्किंग फॉर द गोवा, आमकां गोंयच्या बऱ्या खातीर आमी पार्टीन पॉलिटिकल पार्टीन काम करता. सो हें आमकां केन्नाच काँग्रेसीन अशें आमकां हें नासलें, आमकां फ्रिडम आसलें फूल आमकां जे गोंयचे इश्यू आसा ते उलोवपाक. सो ते खातीर म्हाका खंय तरी एक सफोकेट जालें. दुसरें म्हणजे कॅन्डिडेचर तेंचे डिक्लेअर केल्या कॅन्डिडेट्स. म्हाका दिसता वेलीन आमचो अँटोनियो क्लोवीस जो एक बरो सामको एडवोकेट, बरो विथ क्लीन इमेज, जाका पयलीं हेंच्यांनी फुडें काडलो. बाय ते लोबो आसा, आमचो दशरथ मांद्रेकर आसा, रामा काणकोणकर आसा, जे एक्टिविस्ट गोंया खातीर काम करता, असल्या लोकांक त्यांनी पयलीं प्रॉमिसीस केले आनी खंय तरी मागीर पळय जाल्यार दुसरेच कॅन्डिडेट फुडें हाडून ह्या लोकांक खंय तरी वाऱ्यार उडयले. सो हें म्हाका तें कशेंच मान्य जावंक ना आनी एज अ गोंयकार म्हणून वग्गी रावन हांव केन्नाच पळय म्हाजें इंटेन्शन्स कांयच नासता पॉलिटिकल. तुमकां सगळ्यांक खबर आसा हांव लोकांचे इश्यू घेवन हांव सदांच रस्त्यार आसा विदाउट एक्सपेक्टेशन्स. आनी आज हांव परत पार्टेन येयलें, खंय तरी पार्टेंतल्यान एक आमकां पळय विजन आतां पार्टेचो मॅनिफेस्टो जो रोड मॅप आज केल्लो आसा, दॅट इज द मेन रिजन पळय आज काँग्रेस पार्टीन खरेंच एक प्रत्येक बारीक बारीक गोंयच्या हेजेर विचार केल्लो आसा. नवी आमचे एक बरे तरुण आमचे सगळे काम करता आज काँग्रेस पार्टीन एक बरो रिफ्रेश म्हणजे जाल्ली आसा. सो ताका लागून म्हाकाय दिसलें म्हाज्या घरान हांवें परत येवचें आनी म्हाका सगळ्यांनी वेलकम केलें त्या खातीर हांव सगळ्यांक थँक्यू म्हणटा. आनी हेज्या फुडें गोंया खातीर आमी काम करपा खातीर आमी सगळे एकठांय जावन एक बरें गोंय घडोवपा खातीर आमी लोकांक उलो मारता की आमकां 14 तारखेक लोकांनी काँग्रेसीक परत एकदा चान्स दिवन गोंया खातीर काम करपा खातीर आमकां चान्स दिवचो. थँक्यू.
गोंयची खरी सकाळ जातली ती फक्त काँग्रेसीनूच जातली. सो स्वाती आयज आमच्या बरोबर येयला. जे इतर आमचे वावुरपी आमच्या बरोबर रस्त्यार काम करपी एजिटेशन करपी जे हांगा थंय गेल्ले आसा, आम आदमीन गेल्या जावं हांगा थंय गेल्या, टीएमसीन गेल्या, त्या सगळ्या आमच्या वावुरप्यांक आमच्या कार्यकर्त्यांक आयज आमी उलो मारता की तुमी जर वाट चुकले अशें तुमकां दिसता, येयात परत, तुमकां सन्मानान आमी तुमचें स्वागत करता. सगळ्या वर्करांनी आमच्या काँग्रेसचे पार्टीचे गेल्या तेंच्यांनी परत येवचे, आमी तुमकां सन्मानान तुमचें स्वागत करता. परतून एकदा काँग्रेस पार्टी एकदा बरी फॅमिली आमची परत घट करुया. कसलोच दुजाभाव धरिनासतना आमी तुमचें स्वागत करता. तेन्ना गोंयभर जे आमचे कार्यकर्ते हांगा थंय विखुरलेले आसा, गेल्ले आसा आमकां सोडून, तुमकां हात जोडून विनंती करता परत येयात, आमची फॅमिली घट करा. सगळे मेळोन गोंय राखोया, गोंयकारांक राखोया आनी गोंयचो फुडार हो परजळीत करुया. देव बरें जावं.
थँक्यू.
थँक्यू.
थँक्यू.